Okay, hello everyone. I'm Alyssa,
And I'm Colt.
and we're going to be talking today about kind of navigating your first year as a RAM here at ASU, Angelo State, and just talking about, some of the difficulties you can have and how to deal with those and cope with those.
So moving on to a quick disclaimer about this presentation as a whole. This is a psychoeducation seminar hosted by Alyssa and myself. We are currently counseling psychology practicum students at the Counseling Center here on campus, supervised by Mark Green. The seminar is not intended to be used as a psychiatric treatment. It is intended only to be educational and informational. So this is not a treatment in itself. This is just a little, call it fun, little exercise, kind of looking at some things, maybe some issues y'all are facing as your first year as a RAM. This is not a substitute for actual psychological treatment. Should you experience any emotional discomfort, please contact counseling services at the number listed there, 325-942-2371, to inquire about scheduling counseling if needed. Also, the crisis helpline is available 24 hours a day, and that number is 325-486-6345. And that's going to be for immediate assistance anytime of day.
So a little bit about us. I'm Alyssa. Like Colt said, we're both counseling practicum students here at the Counseling Center. Our job is to conduct intakes as well as we'll have our own caseload doing one-on-one counseling, group therapy, couples counseling, anything like that. I'm looking to obtain my LPC once I graduate this December. And a fun fact about me is that I have every movie ticket, like movie stub, that for every movie that I've been to.
That is really impressive. Keep that much. So I'm Colt Owen, like Alyssa just said, and I said earlier, I am a counseling psychology practicum student. So we do a lot of conducting intakes, counseling sessions, things like that. I'm looking to obtain my LPC, so licensed professional counseling license, after I graduate in May. So I have another semester after this one. A fun fact about me is I own over 75 pairs of unique socks. So it's more around 100, but I was kind of ashamed to put that on there at first, but it's probably upward of 100. I just really like socks. So getting to some of the content here. So some common challenges faced by first year students such as yourselves. So everyone's not going to face these challenges. These are just some challenges from that citation, that website below, that college students across the country, some people have been facing these kinds of things. So some loneliness, some homesickness, poor time management, organizational skills, financial issues, pressure to choose a major or feeling stuck in a major, roommate issues, and stress. So thinking a little bit about yourself, what do these issues mean for you as a first year as a RAM? So kind of looking at your experiences so far. I know we're only in the second week, almost done with the second week. Just kind of thinking how that affects you, how all these things are affecting you, maybe some things that are on this list that are affecting you, and then maybe some friends you've made on campus. Are they experiencing any of these things? So in this presentation, we're going to go through a few ways to combat some of this stress. So just moving on with that.
So a couple things. One of the big things that college freshmen tend to struggle with is time management and organizational skills. In high school, you were living with someone who your parents, they told you what to do when you had to do these things. They reminded you of things. They were able to do, your laundry for you, cook your meals for you potentially. And now that's kind of gone. And so having to balance all of those things can be really hard. And you have all these classes that are at different times. Some professors are really great about giving you a syllabus and reminding you of your due dates, but other professors don't do that. And so being able to remember when your due dates are and when your deadlines are and be able to create a plan in order to get that a little bit better so you're not procrastinating and then stressing yourself out because you have all these things. So one of the big things is being able to filter your task list. Every week, you're going to have things that you have, whether it's class, homework, tests. Some of you already might have had a test, depending on your major. events that you want to go to, social events, study time, even if you want to work out, if you want to hang out with friends, like all of these things can be on your task list. So ranking the importance of those. So to you, maybe that Monday, your most important thing is to study for your test that you have on Tuesday. So that would be rank number 1. Maybe your most important thing on that Friday is to go to a home sporting event. If that's what you feel is the most important, rank that number 1 and be able to cross that off your list. So rank it from 1 to the lowest. So maybe your lowest that day is that you wanted to watch a show on Netflix. That might be your lowest. But if you filter through all your tasks and you rank them, you'll be able to cross them out one by one rather than having just a list of tasks that you're like, oh, I got to get all these things done, and it can feel very overwhelming. Another thing is to ask questions. So ask questions of important things that your professors need of you. You know, how important is this assignment? What percentage of this assignment goes towards my grade? All these things, ask questions to your friends too. Hey, like, how important is it that we go to the yoga class today? Because I have a lot of other things to do. Can we reschedule? Again, and don't be afraid to say no. If somebody wants to do something and you have a lot of time and you don't have a lot of time and you really have some important things you need to do, don't be afraid to say, hey, I can't today. You know, saying no, or if you're too exhausted, you just don't want to. Saying no is okay. That's a valid reason. Just don't be afraid to say no for that. The second one, another big thing is to create a planner. So most people who create planners, they just go buy one from the store, from Walmart, like Walmart have cheap ones. Some people make their own planners, doing a bullet journal, which can be, if you're artistic and creative, that could be a really good idea for you. Other people create planners on their phone. You can do a planner through Google Drive, and you can actually get reminders and notifications on your phone saying, hey, you have a assignment due this Friday. Let's try to get that done this week. So setting reminders on your phone, even like, hey, time to study for 30 minutes, and then whatever you're doing at that time, you drop it and you study for 30 minutes. That can be something positive. Anticipate deadlines. So in your planner, writing out what you have due for each week and when it's due. Over the month, you can start, like today is September 2nd. So today would be a great time to have your September schedule written out. That way you can look at your September planner and say, oh, on the 28th, I have a big test I need to study for. Or if you really like to plan ahead, you can do it for all of the months. So then you know when your midterm is, and you know when your final is, when you have big papers due. That way you can start planning weeks ahead in that planner. And I think there's a little bit of, this could just be me because I am a planner, but satisfaction of crossing things out when you do them and like checking it like a to-do list, like creating that to-do list, because when you cross things off, it's kind of like, hey, I accomplished this today. Like read 10 pages of a chapter, check. It might seem little, but it's like, I accomplished that. I could have sat around and watched Netflix all day, but I did this. Something else is to reward yourself. Don't forget, when you do well on something, when you create a planner and you complete your to-do list, go reward yourself. So you could go to Chick-fil-A, get a treat, go to the gym and like do something you wanted to do there, like go swimming at the gym, take a fun like Zumba class, go get some ice cream with some friends, something like that. So don't forget to reward yourself when you do something great, because that can really just take some stress off of you as well. Something else that helps time management organization is creating a routine. So every day, you know what your class schedule is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So creating a plan. How long is it going to take you to get up? Do you want to get up 10 minutes before your class because your class is just next to your dorm? Or do you want to get up an hour before class, have a breakfast, stretch, do something fun? So creating that routine, planning it out. Like, okay, I have class at 10. I'm going to get up at 8:30. Then I'm going to shower and eat breakfast and walk over to my class. After class, I'm going to get lunch. And once you create this routine, it becomes a flow. So after like 2 weeks of creating this routine, 2-3 weeks, it can become a flow. They say a habit takes 21 days. So if you're doing this routine after 21 days, so by the end of September, you would be in a nice routine, creative flow, and then things just start to come naturally. And don't forget to schedule free and fun time. So don't forget to schedule time with your friends. Don't forget to, if you've been studying for an hour and a friend's like, hey, you want to go get a Starbucks? You can say, yeah, let's do it, right? So don't forget to schedule that fun time. Something else is blocking out distractions. So on contrary to popular belief, we cannot multitask as people. You either are doing something or you're doing something else. You might think you're multitasking, but really your attention is switching. So make sure that you're just try to focus on one thing at a time. So try to focus on just doing one assignment at a time. Try to focus on only writing notes for one class at a time and then moving to the next. So try not to multitask. When you try to multitask, it just gets crazy and you can get very stressed. Another way is, that phone. You got your phone, it's constantly buzzing, group text, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these notifications are going off, and that's really distracting when you're trying to study. It's like you kind of get this like sense of FOMO, like you're fearful that you're missing out on something. So don't be afraid to put your phone on silent, put it on do not disturb. If you have an Apple Watch, put that on do not disturb and set your phone across the room. Like leave it charging across the room. That way you don't hear it. You don't feel it on your wrist buzzing. Don't forget that's just a huge distraction you can block out. Another thing is if you're living with someone, talk to them about study time. Talk to your roommate about study time because their study time might not be the same as yours. So you might try to be studying and they're watching Netflix or they have someone over. So talk to them about some study times, try to work something out. Maybe you can study together or if they say, hey, I am going to have someone over at 3 p.m. and you want to study then, maybe try to go to the library or somewhere else on campus or even off campus, a coffee shop off campus, so you can get some private time, some alone time to block out a bunch of those distractions that are in your room and around your room. And then the last one is just to try to be self-aware. Know when to take breaks. If you feel like you're really overwhelmed, you're getting drowsy, the words are kind of blurring after you're reading them, go take a break, take a walk, get a snack, do some jumping jacks, energize, something like that. Just know when to take breaks. We don't need to keep going and going and going like a workhorse. It's important to take rest time in your everyday life. Every day, just take some rest time. You don't need to constantly be on the go.
And a little thing off of that, there is something called a point of diminishing return when it comes to studying. So later in the semester, we're going to actually have a whole presentation over prepping for tests, text anxiety, things like that. But studying for 5 consecutive hours isn't necessarily better than studying for 2 constructive, good hours. So just staring at something for a longer period of time doesn't necessarily mean you're getting more out of it. So like Alyssa said, knowing your own boundaries, knowing what works best for you, it's going to take some time, but it's definitely helpful going forward. Anything else on this?
No.
Okay. So the next thing we have, ways to cope with stress. While college is a really fun and exciting time, there's going to be a lot of stressful moments. And maybe if it's not a lot, there's still going to be few through the semester. Now with COVID, it adds a bunch of different unknowns, and that unknown, that kind of not knowing what's going to happen week to week, can cause some stress. So having some effective ways to deal with that stress is really important. So we're going to talk about making something called a coping card, or you can make multiple coping cards. So coping cards are typically made on little index cards like you buy from the bookstore or Walmart. But you can also just make them on a piece of paper, a sticky note, whatever you have handy to write on. You can either do reminders in your phone, but having physical copies is a little bit better because you can look at them every day and have something tangible to hold and look at. So I'm going to get into this, kind of show some examples of what coping cards look like. So pause and take some slow, deep breaths. So these are just some little phrases, maybe some inspirational quotes to kind of help you calm yourself, help you find a center where you can relax and kind of bring yourself back in. So maybe you're feeling anxious, you're feeling some anxiety, you feel like you're not in control of a situation. Some of these phrases or maybe some breathing techniques that you have written down on these cards can help you regain some of that centering, help you come back into yourself and not be as focused on all the stress that's going on in your life. So change is hard, but it's worth it. So maybe you're fixing to start a new change, like a big change in your life, maybe a relationship, maybe losing a relationship. So having this coping card early on in that change, you can come back and look at it every day and be like, okay, change is hard, but it's worth it. So you can kind of bring yourself out of that, I'll call it a funk in that moment. Because when you are anxious, it can be difficult to kind of think about multiple different things because your head's kind of in a whirlwind we talk about. So when you're in that whirlwind, having these tangible cards to hold and look at and be like, oh, okay, I need to, this thing's helped me in the past. I can do it again, and hopefully it'll help me again. So that's the mindset behind it. And even some inspirational quotes. So they can be from the internet or from people you've known, such as, I know my dad told me when I was a kid that it was okay to be afraid. So that's actually something I've written down and looked at many times through my life so far. It's just having that as this tangible example of, okay, it's going to be okay. So these are just some examples. You can click on this off the PowerPoint, or you can just Google coping cards, how to make them if you're still a little unsure. So just some quick examples. So yeah, this is just something you can have to help you look at when things maybe aren't going the best. I'm trying to read back to the PowerPoint here.
And also just to touch off what we're talking about here with the cards, you can also be sticky notes that you maybe want to place like on your mirror or around your room, just as daily reminders, or you can make it a background on your phone, something like that, so that you see it all the time. And then like you can look at it and be like, yeah, I do deserve to be happy. Like just like everybody else, I deserve to be happy. It's something that you can look at every single day and be reminded of it.
Yeah. So just kind of looking at, say, thinking and brainstorming with yourself. What are some things I've used in the past to help deal with anxiety? And just having those down on a card, or stress in this case, having them down on a card, be able to look at that when you're in those moments of stress. Some additional on-campus resources to deal with stress, the counseling services, so the counseling center. It's between the museum and the chapel. So that building, it used to be the old clinic. The relaxation room is located within counseling services. So is the creativity room, and the CHP is the gym. So just being able to go out and have these resources if you feel like the coping cards aren't enough for times that you can go out and do. So counseling services, if you feel overwhelmed, you feel stressed, come make an appointment. If you realize, after your appointment, you're feeling better, maybe you don't need continued services, you don't have to keep coming. It's just, we're here to help y'all.
Okay, so when you come to college, there's a lot of things that can happen. I know a lot of people get sick, like their first month of college, and then especially with COVID, getting sick right now is very scary because these symptoms, you might not even experience them. You might have minor symptoms. So just like trying to keep yourself as healthy as possible and then improve your overall well-being, because, it's kind of like you feel good, you look good, I feel good today, so like I'm going to have a better day. If you feel like crap, for lack of better words, then you're probably not going to have the best day. So just these are some tips to improve your overall well-being. Sleep studies show that college students, especially college freshmen, need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. So depending on you, maybe you need that full 9. But maybe some people are like, I only need about 7. But on average, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That doesn't mean that if you get 6 or 5, you're going to feel like crap the next day. But on average, 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night allows your body to refresh and prepare for the next day. So thinking about that in a time management spectrum, setting an alarm like, hey, I need to go to bed now because I have to get up at 8 a.m. So I need to go to bed now, maybe winding down 30 minutes before bed, turning off your TV, not looking at your phone, being able to like maybe read something, go over some notes, something like that, just to like settle down so that you can get to sleep and get those 7 to 9 hours. Something that is just normal is like cleaning your space really often, like disinfectant, even just like vacuuming. Most people feel better in like a cleaner space when everything's cluttered. It can get really stressful. It's like, oh my goodness, I have all this stuff to do and my space isn't even clean. And especially if you live with someone else, like their germs are coming in just as well as yours are. So just wiping down the counter, the doorknobs, the light switches, things that you touch often will really help. And then just filtering out any unnecessary clutter in your room. So like empty water bottles, just like taking those to the trash. Maybe some stuff that you got you don't even need anymore, like old t-shirts you don't wear anymore. Just filtering out that unnecessary clutter is gonna help just a little bit. So the next one is exercising at 30 minutes a day. So studies also show that 30 minutes a day of exercise, even if it's just like a 30-minute walk, can help increase your endorphins, which can like actually make you a little bit happier and feeling better. It releases stress. It can reduce anxiety, any anxiety that you're having. It actually increases relaxation once you're done, and it helps you sleep better. So if you were working out that day, maybe you haven't been working out, but now you are, you're gonna find that you feel more tired at the end of the day. So if you can better get those 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and it can boost your overall energy. Your metabolism will speed up. You'll feel better during the day. And so just 30 minutes, whether it's 30-minute walk around campus, 30 minutes of yoga, playing basketball, like something you enjoy that you're not gonna absolutely hate doing as workout, but just getting 30 minutes of exercise every day, that can really help. And going along with that, like food is your friend. So not only just normal food, but some healthy food. Healthy food, again, can boost your energy. It helps build your immune system. So if you're eating, getting your fruits and your vegetables in, then a little bit healthier, getting those vitamins. It can improve your performance in the classroom as well. So healthy, eating healthy kind of leads to like a healthier brain as well. So it can improve your performance in your classroom. You won't feel as sluggish, whether if you're constantly eating fried food and just food that's just not great for you, you're going to feel more sluggish than if you're eating a little bit healthier. And there's so many resources on campus for healthy food. There's a lot of options at the UC and the eating cafeteria for healthy options. And I know there's on-the-go things as well. I know it's hard between classes, like you have class till 11:50 and then you have class at noon. So you have 10 minutes to get something. So there's some on-the-go things. You can grab something fast. Don't be afraid to ask your professor too, hey, is it okay if I eat this snack in class? Some professors might not be okay with it, but some professors are going to be like, yeah, it's lunchtime. This class goes for a while. Just try not to skip meals. When we get hungry, we start thinking about that hunger, and our education and our ability to retain information goes down. So maybe planning ahead, keeping snacks in your backpack, in your room, like a banana, granola bar, something like that. Now, this doesn't mean you should never treat yourself and not have bad food, because everybody loves pizza and ice cream and burgers and fries, but just try to, get those fruits and vegetables in. Get a little bit healthier eating. Have fried food when you want it. Treat yourself, of course, but just remember to try to get a little bit healthier eating throughout the week, throughout the day. Another thing is drink water. So hydration is key. You really need to be hydrated throughout the day. You should be drinking like at least 8 glasses of water a day. So carry on around a water bottle. There are so many refilling stations for your water bottle in like all the buildings. So carry around a water bottle, drink that water. That'll help you with the eating, help you replenish your body. It'll help you just stay healthier. And then listen to your body. So if you need rest, then rest. Like 30 minutes a day. Sometimes you're like, man, I'm sore today. Like I'm not feeling too great. So listen to your body. Don't force yourself to do something that you might not be able, you might want to do. And don't be afraid to make yourself a priority as well. So if you're trying to eat healthier and all your friends keep wanting to do fried foods, be like, hey, I'm gonna eat a little something a little bit better. I'm gonna get like a wrap, a chicken wrap or something like that. So make yourself a priority. Remember, listen to your body. You control what you put in it, and just be able to have a good balance.
So getting involved on campus. So when you're feeling stressed, you're feeling a little dragged out, maybe you don't have as many close friends as you would like. Getting out, getting involved on campus is a great way to meet some new people that have common interests. So these are just a few things that we have. We have Greek life, student organizations. So there's things if you're into sports. I know there's a handball club on campus. There's frisbee golf or ultimate frisbee. Frisbee golf actually might have one as well. So just going out, finding what you're interested in. So if you're interested in sports, going to the CHP, talking to folks, trying to figure out some of the on-campus clubs and organizations that are going on. If you're really passionate about academics, so I know psychology, we have Psych-I here on campus. You can come to those meetings. When those meetings happen, emails go out to those mass student emails that a lot of times get deleted or get sent to the spam folder, looking out for those. So looking at things, opportunities on campus. There are going to be more than there were last year because of COVID. We're hoping that they keep, building and there's more and more as we go through the semester. But again, everything's kind of uncertain about that. It does not mean there aren't opportunities to go out and meet new people. So intramurals. So intramural sports. I forget what sports are in the fall. I believe football, like flag football is in the fall.
Volleyball is.
Volleyball. So there's different options if you want to play outdoor sports, if you want to play indoor sports, some options there. The Ram band. So many of our students are involved with the band, also going to home football games and listening to the band and meeting people at those football games. Student government, there's opportunities to get involved with student government. So also those emails go out, the mass emails go out, trying to look into some of that. ROTC. So a lot of high schools have ROTC program. We also have that here at Angelo State. It's a little bit more advanced because it's at the college level. But if that's something you're into or something you're looking at, you want to meet some like-minded folks in that, it's a great resource to do that. Angelettes are the dance team here on campus for our Angelo State sports teams. Community service. So there's plenty of opportunities to, donate some of your time, get some rewarding experiences out in the community. And that as well, when you're meeting these people out in the community, maybe they don't exactly go to Angelo State, but maybe they're similar age, or maybe they just have similar interests. So just making some friends that way, spending some of your time doing something you feel good about. Multicultural and student activities program. So here in the UC, downstairs, so on the first floor when you walk in, there's a multicultural center. They have a lot of great opportunities in there, people to talk to about the upcoming programs. I think they have games in there you can play. It's also where the Ram Pantry is. So if you have any food, you're worried about where your next meal is going to come from, or you need some more food, talking with them about that service that is here on campus. It's paid for with your student fees. So take advantage of that if you need that. And the UREC fitness classes. So actually at the CHP, if you're not really into working out by yourself or you're not sure what to do, they have organized fitness classes, kind of give you, so if you want to do a Zumba class, I think let's talk about, they do like dance classes. If you want to learn how to do yoga, there's yoga instructors that actually lead the whole class through what it means to do yoga and actually doing it. So you can go to those classes, maybe use some of that in your own workout if you don't want to keep going to the classes. So there's plenty of ways to get involved on campus. It's just a lot of having to go out and find those opportunities.
So academics are a huge part of college, obviously, and navigating that first year with all these classes and having to remember all these due dates is hard to do on your own, especially if you're just not used to it. So here are some academic resources on campus that can help if you're struggling. So we have the Center for Student Success listed as the phone number, the email, and where they're located. They can really help you finding a tutor and whatever tutor you need. If you are wanting to do something like build a resume or get help with anything in whatever class you're dealing with, they can help you with that. They can help you navigate your degree plan as well. And then we have SWAG, which is called Students with a Goal. Again, the phone number and the email, and they're located on the library, is listed there. But SWAG can help, like if you're really struggling in a class, you'll get someone that you meet with weekly or bi-weekly that will be able to help you, like, hey, this is on your list. Like, have you contacted your professor? Just giving you little reminders to help yourself and holding you accountable. And then we have the Writing Center. We have the Writing Center on campus as well. And again, the number, the email, they're also located in the library. So if you need any help with papers, there's actually students there that will help you, as well as full-time staff members. You can also try to get a job there at the Writing Center if you feel like you're really good at writing, helping other people with that. And they can help you with resume building. They'll look over your papers and guide you through it. They won't tell you exactly how to write your paper, but they'll help you with things like APA format or MLA format, fixing grammar errors, things like that. And then we have the Math Lab. The Writing Center. They're open on Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday, they're from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. They're closed on Saturday, and then Sunday they're open from 1 to 4 p.m. And then we have the Math Lab. They're also located in the library. They can help with anything with math related. I know math isn't for everybody. I definitely struggled with math. So if you need any help with math, tutoring, help with your homework, they would be happy to help you. You can walk in or set up an appointment with them. Their hours are Monday through Thursday. It's 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then Friday, they're 11 to 3. They're closed on Saturday, and then Sunday, they're open 4 to 8 p.m. So any of those times, you can call, make an appointment, walk in, ask if someone's available, but if you need any help with that. And then we have the Career Development Center. The Career Development Center can really help you, like we talked about, potentially being stuck in a major or not really knowing what to do with what you want to do at all. So career development can really help you through a little bit of like assessments and taking like, oh, I'm interested in this, and it'll tell you like you might be good at this. So they can help you with that. Again, they can help you resume building. They can help you with getting recommendation letters, different things like that. You can also apply for a job there as well. They're located here in the University Center too, in the UC, and they're really great over there. They're very helpful. They really care about what you want to do, you know, as a person, as what you want to do with your future. They're very helpful with that. So if you're struggling with figuring out, hey, I don't really know what I want my major to be, and I have to declare a major next year, give them a call, email them, walk in. Or if you're even like, I know what I want to do, but I don't know what job options there really are out there, they can help you with that. So keeping that in mind.
Yeah, so playing off of that a little bit, the idea of what am I going to do after college can be a really stressful thought to have, even your freshman year. So having some direction with the help of the Career Development Center can really help alleviate some of that stress, where you're going to class knowing this is going to be building towards your future career. So just something to keep in mind. So financial resources and aid. So finances, of course, are a very stressful thing for some people, and most people, I would say, from multiple times in their life. So some ways to kind of combat some of that is applying for a job. Applying for a job also helps with just making friends, having this kind of smaller community with people you see often to where you can talk about some things as well. So it gets you money, and it also is a resource for something you can go to and, you know, spend some of your time doing. So it's a win-win. So you can apply for jobs on campus. So there's like working for, talk about the career development office. If you're really into math and you think you'd be a really good math tutor, talking with the math center about opportunities up there. Same thing with the writing center if you're good with writing. Just being able to look around campus. I know a lot of the bulletin boards have postings often about, you know, they're looking for student workers and what that job would look like. You know, you can go on the Angelo State, the website itself, and they have career services trying to help you find jobs both on campus and in the community. So off-campus jobs are still, you know, fairly open to you. Just finding things that work with your class schedule. And again, those are options you can pursue as well. Apply for scholarships. So the CAR scholarship. So there's different varying levels of the CAR scholarship depending on high school GPA and a lot of different factors. And there's different types of scholarships every semester. So scholarships aren't only found in-house here at Angelo State. You can actually look on Google to look for scholarships that some big companies give out that you apply for. So you can write letters and hopefully get some extra money to help alleviate some of that financial stress about school. Because while Angelo State is an affordable university, university is still expensive. And I touched a little bit on the ramp pantry earlier, but they're located in the Multicultural Center here in the UC, as I mentioned. They're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So just going in, talking to them if you have any food insecurity issues, you know, maybe you're not able to work, so you're not able to bring in income and food's an issue for you. So that's why that resource is there for y'all to come seek that help. Y'all just have to go in and talk to them and they'll help you. I believe that's about it. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about today, or just feel like you need to outreach and get some help regarding your stress or anxiety, come by the counseling center, set up an appointment, and I believe that's all we have for today.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.